Philip David Wickham entered the world on April 5, 1984, in the sun-soaked city of San Diego, California. From the very beginning, his life was immersed in the melodies of worship. Faith and music were the twin pillars of his childhood home, a sacred harmony that shaped his destiny. His parents, John and Lisa Wickham, were devoted worship leaders, and their passion for music became the heartbeat of their family. Singing was more than just an activity in the Wickham household. It was an offering, a way to connect with the divine. Phil, along with his older brother Evan and younger sister Jillian, grew up in an atmosphere where music was as natural as breathing. His father, John, had been a member of the Christian rock band, The Road Home, and their household was always filled with the sound of praise. Whether it was early in the morning or late at night, the strumming of guitars and the echo of voices lifting hymns to heaven were constants in their home. Worship was not confined to Sunday mornings. It was woven into the fabric of their daily lives. From the moment he could walk and talk, Phil was captivated by the power of music. Sundays were sacred, not just as a ritual, but as an experience that filled him with purpose. He cherished the moments spent in prayer and song, drawn to the beauty of worship from an early age. His parents recognized his natural talent and encouraged him to pursue it. Watching his father play the guitar left him in awe, and he longed to create those same sounds himself. At the age of 12, he received his first guitar, a gift that would become an extension of his soul. Determined to master the instrument, he spent countless hours practicing, mimicking the hymns he heard in church and at home. Every chord he strummed was a step toward a future he couldn't yet imagine. After moving with his family to Vista, California, Phil spent his formative years discovering his voice, not just musically, but spiritually. Though full of life and energy, he also had a reflective side. Writing in his journal and composing music became his refuge, a way to transform emotions into something tangible and beautiful. He realized that music was more than just a means of expression. It was a way to communicate with God. As a teenager, Phil found himself drawn deeper into worship. He wasn't just singing the songs, he was experiencing them, feeling the joy of praise with every fiber of his being. When he began leading worship for his youth group, something clicked. He knew this was his calling. His heart burned with a desire to write songs that would inspire others to draw closer to God. Authenticity was everything. He longed to craft melodies that were raw, heartfelt, and full of reverence. His older brother Evan, also a talented musician, was both a source of encouragement and friendly competition. The two would write songs together, refining their craft and strengthening their bond through music. Phil found inspiration in artists like Delirious, Chris Tomlin, and David Crowder, all of whom used music to lead people into worship. He dreamed of one day doing the same, using his voice and lyrics to draw hearts toward heaven. At just 18 years old, Phil took a leap of faith and self-produced his debut album. What started as a small project soon gained traction beyond his local church. His unique voice, ethereal and deeply moving, set him apart from other worship leaders. Word spread, and before long he was being invited to lead worship at churches and events beyond Vista. His ability to blend deep biblical truths with modern, captivating melodies caught the attention of many, and in 2006, he signed with Simple Records, releasing his self-titled album. Songs like Divine Romance showcased his gift for writing lyrics that stirred the soul. His devotion to God shone through in every note, and his music began to travel far beyond his hometown. Reflecting on his journey, Phil often credits his upbringing, his family's unwavering faith, and the ever-present power of worship in his childhood home for shaping him into the artist he became. To him, worship was never just about singing. It was about living a life that glorified God. But the path of a Christian musician is not without challenges. As Phil's fame grew, so did the voices of critics. Some accused his music of becoming too polished, too commercialized, more of a performance than an act of worship. The sting of their words cut deep. For years, he had poured his heart into writing songs that were genuine expressions of faith, yet now some questioned whether he had lost his way. At first, he tried to ignore the criticism, reminding himself that his purpose was greater than public opinion. But as the voices grew louder, doubt crept in. Had he strayed from the purity of worship? Was his music truly leading people to God? Or had it become just another form of entertainment? The weight of these questions bore down on him, shaking his confidence. One night, after a particularly grueling performance, he sat alone in his dressing room, staring at his reflection. He was exhausted, drained. Worship had always required sacrifice, but now he wondered what more he had to give. It was his wife, Mally, who saw the shift in him. She noticed the once joyful musician, who used to hum new melodies as he woke up, now seemed burdened by doubt. One evening, as he sat at the piano, his fingers resting on the keys but unable to play, she placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Phil," she whispered, "you're not defined by what people say. Your worship is for God alone. It's never in vain." Her words struck a chord deep within him. He had been so consumed by the opinions of others that he had momentarily lost sight of why he started in the first place. Worship wasn't about perfection. It wasn't about applause. It was about surrender. That night, he played, not for an audience, not for a recording, but for God alone. It was raw, imperfect, but completely genuine. Slowly, he learned to silence the noise and rediscover the heart of worship. The criticism didn't stop, but it no longer had the power to shake him. As long as his music remained an honest reflection of his devotion, nothing else mattered. Through trials, doubt, and rediscovery, Phil Wickham emerged with an even deeper faith. He learned that worship was never about performance. It was about the heart behind it. And that truth, more than anything, would continue to define his journey. Philip David Wickham is an American contemporary Christian singer, songwriter, and composer, born on April 5, 1984, in San Diego, California. He is known for his distinctive voice, soulful melodies, and powerful celebratory lyrics that have touched the hearts of millions of Christian music lovers around the world. Childhood and faith formation. Born into a family with a strong Christian musical tradition, Phil Wickham was exposed to worship songs at an early age. Both of his parents were members of a worship band, which deeply influenced his passion for music. From an early age, he demonstrated outstanding songwriting and singing abilities, especially in church services. Despite his strong faith foundation, Phil's personal journey with God was not always easy. He went through periods of searching, struggling with inner doubts, and learning to put his complete trust in God. These experiences later became the inspiration for many of his songs, helping him connect more deeply with those who were seeking hope in their faith. Musical journey and career. Phil Wickham began his professional music career at a very early age, releasing his self-titled debut album in 2006. The album quickly gained attention in the Christian music community for its soulful vocals and unique arrangements. However, his big break came in 2009 when he released his album Heaven and Earth, featuring the song Safe, featuring Bart Millard of Mercy Me. This album helped him solidify his place in the contemporary Christian music scene. But it was not until 2013, with the song This Is Amazing Grace, that Phil Wickham truly became a phenomenon. Not only did this song top the Billboard Christian Songs chart, it also became one of the most popular worship songs in churches around the world. Despite his huge success, Phil Wickham has continued to innovate his musical style and write songs with profound messages. The album Living Hope, 2018, marked another milestone in his career. The title track, Living Hope, not only reflects his strong faith, but is also a moving prayer for salvation and hope. Challenges and events in his career. In 2014, Phil Wickham faced a major incident when he lost his voice due to strained vocal cords. This was a serious challenge for a singer, especially one who lives with the mission of singing worship to God. He was forced to undergo surgery and be completely silent for a long time to recover. This period of time tested Phil's faith, but also helped him realize the true value of worship. When he was unable to sing, he had a deeper understanding of glorifying God not only through music, but also through everyday life. After his recovery, he returned stronger with a deeper faith and more inspiring music than ever. Personal life and family. Phil Wickham is married to Mallory Plotnick and has 4 children. Despite his busy musical career, he always puts his family first. His family values and Christian faith are clearly reflected in his songs, especially those about relying on God in all circumstances. Phil's relationship with his family has been an integral part of his faith journey and songwriting.